See if they can turn it around.
Yeah, as we were heading into the pistol here, and surprised but not surprised to see SKDC picked us too. I mean, out of the options that they had left when they were picking, it was two maps that they're 0-3 on. So that was kind of take lesser of the two evils, I suppose, for them, which was Dust 2. So that's what we're working with here, Cash and Dust 2. But we are heading into the pistol rounds. SKDC starting off over on the CT side, and then LunatiK will be on our T side to kick things off here for our second best of two of the evening.
Yep, so we are going to see LunatiK actually gearing up for some maybe mid-aggression. They're going to boost up a couple of players, and what I do see some teams do is use this player late in the round to the backstab or flank after they do some type of attack on the A bomb site, or maybe even a B hit as well. TVU can try to come out late, but they're just going to try to do mid control. Drake coming out mid main, and TVU has it, so Ocean just kind of backing off, spotting the cross, and this attack's going to be a mid to be split, and Stewie, the only guy in B, Ocean trying to rotate, but he won't get there quick enough, and this bomb site's all open for LunatiK.
They do have it, and there is a player up in heaven. That's Ocean, but Invert will say see you later to that. Bomb down now on the B side. All three players coming in from this from the CT side here. One up in heaven. Tivu was able to pick up on two, actually, with his Glock, taking out Ruru and Els, and that is just Slemmy left like a scared puppy back in spawn, and he will get dropped. So LunatiK taking that first pistol there quite comfortably, up 1-0.
Yeah, and I guess that was just kind of unfortunate. I mean, I saw Ocean was kind of just really passive at mid, and he gave it up and allowed those two players to take mid control and go Vince to Streckers, and then Stewie was just all by himself in the B bomb side playing the headshot angle there at Generator, and I guess they had stacked the other three players over towards the A side, hoping for the best over there, but when that strong hit at B came in, Stewie was just isolated by himself, and Ocean couldn't rotate quick enough heaven to give him any support, and it just became a complete bomb side take from LunatiK with ease, basically. And now they'll be able to buy up those Galils and AKs across the board. We do have a 5-7 armor buy here from SKDC. They are kind of playing a bait setup. We do have, one playing Slimmy playing really passive while they have Ruru playing up close in the sandbag. So we'll see if maybe that kind of bait setup comes into play. But it looks like they're just going to storm mid. I mean B. Ugh.
Yeah, they are getting in there. TiVo actually was able to get a molly frag on the Stewie, and then the Scouts was lurking around inside events, able to take care of Ruru, and that will put the bomb down right smack dab in the middle of that B site. So it's Els, Slemmy, and Ocean that are going to have to try and work a little bit of magic here. It's a 3 versus 5, though. Tough situation. They are outgunned, and it looks like at least one of them is just running all the way back towards the A site to save their deagle.
Might as well set that armor, yeah.
Yeah.
Can use it next round to do kind of a similar play. Maybe gamble stack something and hope for the best. As LunatiK, not having any trouble with these rounds, not having any trouble on the pistol. I think both these rounds were actually flawless victories. They're still all at 0 deaths, so saving a lot of money as well. I mean, those 3 people that already have AKs and head armor, they're just gonna bank up so much cash based on all these round wins, not having to rebuy anything.
And note as well, and I'm sure most people know this already, but LunatiK heavily favored to win this game, though, as we were saying, it's kind of the two lower end of the professional scene teams here for CEVO, and they're both desperate for some wins here to get themselves a little bit higher up on that ladder here. So both teams definitely trying to come out here tonight and play their A game, grab one of those wins.
Right. I mean, both these teams don't even compete on the professional side of our other big NA league, ESEA. They're both like premier teams, I think, over there, actually. SKDC's been around the pro scene for a while, and they've always never really been in playoff contention in either league they've played in, so they've always been kind of a bottom-of-the-barrel pro team, and they even got demoted over there in ESEA, and they're still trying to, I guess, like, get a solid roster together, to be honest. I've been seeing them play with a couple of different fists this season already for our league, and LunatiK's the other story. They're kind of the up-and-comers, new faces to the pro circuit, trying to make a name for themselves against the old people, I guess you could say, and Els and Ocean.
The old people, I like that. We see LunatiK here trying to come in towards his B site. They have one right around the corner, but Drawsol will start things off. Scouts getting one as well onto Slemmy, and they are just opening up this B site completely. Nobody left to defend it inside of the site, at least. So another easy B take for him. It's been like that so far all day here. Drawsol getting Els once again, who was trying to play over towards that headshot side. So we just have Ruru left alive here. Not going to be able to find too much here, I don't think. 1 versus 5, and LunatiK still has yet, I almost jinxed myself, yet to drop a player here
Yeah.
in this as they sit up 3-0.
Stewie says, "Can we pause?" I'm not sure if that's like a tactical timeout or if it's a player having an issue timeout. Not really sure, but yeah, the fact that they've won all 3 rounds and they haven't dropped a single player in the process. I mean, look at all these guys. They're all at like mid 5K. I mean, there's no opportunity for SKDC to punish their economy anytime soon. I mean, they pretty much have to like win out a couple of rounds in a row to get back into this thing.
Yeah, they gotta win this next gun round here coming up. As we will be seeing our first gun round once we get everybody back in here and ready to go. I think it was actually a player over on SKDC wasn't in Mumble or something. So
that's what we're hearing, yeah, and at least in the in-game chat. So look at this though. I mean, 3 players bought down the $0, and the opening gun round. I mean, because normally you hope to at least get some money, getting some kills or, you know, doing something, but they're literally held down to $0 off this initial buy. So I mean, if they lose this round, they definitely save.
Yeah.
And if they could actually be in a double save situation at this point, because yeah, they'll get that maximum $3,400. But I mean, that's still not a lot of whole money to buy with when your M4s are like $3,100 and $3,200, depending on which one you have equipped. So that's going to be like maybe some type of force from buy, or probably a double save if they don't win this round. So this could be like a real quick like 5-0 for LunatiK actually if SKDC can't, and maybe even potentially 6-0 if SKDC can't win this round here and now.
Yeah, it's a big round here for SKDC, not to get themselves too far behind, but LunatiK looking very strong. Even if they lose this round, still going to have plenty of money to work with here. So, as you were saying, SKDC definitely in need of a few rounds in a row here, and they're playing aggressive into this mid. I saw a couple of them pushed up all the way here, but the A push is going to be very strong for LunatiK here coming through. They've got all the smokes and flashes out. Few players from SKDC playing on this highway side, and Ruru was able to start things off, taking out Drake, but they are already in the bomb site, LunatiK is, and they've got it down, so now it is a 4 versus 3. A lot of damage coming out on one of the nades on the players over by highway, but Els is flanking right now.
Yeah, big
able to pick up 2 with his M4. Slemmy getting 1 as well, but Scout's playing right over on this forklift side. A lot of the guys hurt from SKDC, but LunatiK able to do nothing with that, so they're winning the round that they really needed to get there, SKDC, and we'll be seeing 3-1 in favor of LunatiK.
Yeah, so SKDC playing that mid control on CT side, which definitely can be very powerful for either side controlling mid on this map, and so it's good for SKDC to put some emphasis on it, but it did mean that the A bomb site was basically completely open, and LunatiK did just a full A execute, and so it couldn't have been more lucky for them not to really face any opposition when they went in to plant the bomb, but good retake there from SKDC, especially Els on that flank through A main with those 2 kills. That was really, really big. That kind of cracked the site open and allowed SKDC a foothold to retake the site. And there you have it. They are winning their first round in a row. They did lose a lot of players, and they did lose some players in the process, though, so some rebind did take place on a couple of their guys. So they're still in kind of a tough economic situation. So if LunatiK can win this round, that's definitely going to be a save for SKDC. So they're definitely not out of the woods. It's kind of the point I'm trying to make. They do need to win a couple more rounds in a row to be safe. Nice pop flash there from Stewie, trying to chase down a frag for it, but can't find it. But we'll get away with his life, and that's all that matters. You know, no harm, no foul. Got a little bit of information and didn't take too much damage to do it.
That was a good idea. In theory there, couldn't convert on the frag, but that's all right. As you said, got the information. So Scout's starting to get his way into mid. He's going to see Ruru here, but he just pops him with his M4. And he's going for another pop flash here. Stewie is getting the damage out, but still can't seem to quite convert on one of those frags. As you can see, Invert here with his AWP, trying to work his way in. Looks like LunatiK wants to try and work something towards his B side. Good game sense there from Drake to turn around.
He heard the shot. Ruru took a shot at the event. He knew he was getting chased. He turned around and grabbed it, so that was great. But Els holding down the headshot angle here, able to get a couple of kills. Stewie from inside the site also going to find CEVO, going to find the second on the invert, and there you have it. 2 kills apiece there for those 2 players inside the B bomb site. Just, you know, nice pop flash setup and getting the information people were B lobby, so that means that they didn't have to worry about rotating off the B bomb side is the point. So they're able to keep their numbers there. They even had a good rotation coming in from mid. And there you have it. Another round goes SKDC, finally bailing them out of what was kind of turned into a really bad economic situation. Even still, their money's not that great. They still have those repercussions from those 3 flawless victories from LunatiK to kick off the half.
LunatiK now is hurting a bit on their money situation as well, though, and they want to take an A main push here. Drossel is going to be lurking in mid, but they have 4 guys set up at that A main getting ready to go here. So the SKDC already has 2 guys in sight, actually 3 right around the site area, so they should be able to have a strong defense here. Ruru was playing highway, but he's got himself on top of the rafters now, and Slemmy's already taken a solid amount of damage. He is working with the op on this round, but Ruru and Ocean able to stop this push here. Ruru getting 2 with his M4. There's 1 underneath still. Ruru getting 3 with his M4, shutting down that push, and it is just Drossel left. He was the guy lurking around in mid, able to get 1 before falling, but SKDC 3 rounds in a row right back.
Yeah, that's big, because now it forces LunatiK finally into a save situation when they were sitting pretty for a while on money because of those 3 flawless rounds. You know, finally SKDC has now kind of taken the advantage economically, and they've tied up the game really quickly at 3-3, so this is really, really big for them. And I mean, SKDC and the ties that they have gotten this season, their map wins to get those ties were in fact on this map, Cash. So that is maybe a little bit of a note to make there, that this is a map that they have been able to, you know, at least get some victories on. Even while they have like no wins on the season overall, they've been able to take this map, Cash, off of teams like Luminosity and Affinity, based off of having some really good CT sides. So we'll see if they can keep it going here.
Ruru got a lot of good spam in the mid, was able to take down CEVO to just 12 health, and he will actually fall as well. So the shutdown on this B site push, there's too many SKDC bodies around for LunatiK to deal with, completely outpowered there as far as weaponry goes. So as you would expect, SKDC picking up yet another round here after losing that pistol, dropping 3. They are back up to 4 here, actually taking a 1-round lead.
Yeah, this is a big response here from SKDC, who really did suffer those first 3 rounds to be able to make the comeback like this and take the lead right back. Like you said, 4-3. They're sitting pretty as far as economy goes now. LunatiK able to get the full buy-in, and LunatiK has really just been favoring these really, really strong A executions, just like the typical set smokes on the A bomb site and just kind of plowing in there, using some Molotovs to kind of clear out some of the common CT spots, and just, you know, running in there with like no control mid, no information anywhere else on the map. But they are going to try to take mid control this round, which I think is key. But they're going to be running through lots of smokes and stuff, and Els is going to make them pay for it as they try to come through the smoke very, very blind. Meanwhile, Slimmy holding down the A main part of this attack from Quad with the op, and so LunatiK once again trying to hit this A site.
They get themselves in. Drossel does pick up 1-1 here and getting a second one with his AK, now making it a 2 versus 3, but him and Invert are both pretty hurt here. L's playing over by the forklift, able to pick up onto that frag on Invert, and it is just a 1 versus 2. But Els will finish off the round here, coming through to pick up the defuse as well, and Stewie will also grab that off back for SKDC. So now 5 straight rounds for SKDC after falling 3 at the beginning, have got themselves back in this nicely good build-up economy and 5-3 game.
Yeah, I feel like LunatiK's just kind of telegraphing all their strats here. I mean, they're pretty much just doing A executions every single round that we've seen, at least the gun rounds, as far as those go. I mean, on some of their ecos, they've gone B, but most of the time they're just, like, they're not running any fakes, they're not doing anything, they're not getting mid-control. That round they tried to get it late, but it was, like, through a smoke and a bunch of counter nades, and it just wasn't, like, feasible, basically. So I applaud them for at least trying to change things up instead of going, like, super heavy, adding a little bit more of a mid-element to it. But it just came too late in the round, and they didn't have enough to actually get mid-control and implement that as part of their execution, and so they just kind of got completely shut down there. Drossel kind of had like a hero effort to at least get some kills and get the bomb down, but it was never enough to get him the round. And once again, you're seeing them set up for something kind of similar, it looks like, though they do have a lot more mid-control this time around.
Which is good for them to at least start things off, and both teams have managed to pick up 1 frag so far in this one. Scouts is going to flash into that site. No Slummy sitting back there by the forklift, able to pick up onto that and get himself right out of there. Drake's going to find Els in mid as well, so a good start to this round for LunatiK. It's just Ocean and Stewie left alive inside of the site, though. Ocean playing a little over towards that quad side. is able to take out Scouts. Stewie got one as well, but Drake coming through on the flank was able to find Ocean. So now we're looking at a 1 versus 2. Bomb going down on this A site, and it is all left up to Stewie.
Yeah, it's going to be a really tough retake with an op here to 1 versus 2, but Stewie's definitely going to give it his all. Coming around the site, but immediately taken down by Drake, and that was a much better round for LunatiK there on A. They had a lot more mid presence. Drake was able to get up and get a couple of kills from mid. I think he got a kill on 1 TT connector and also caught Ocean kind of falling back into the site from the side as well. And then he got that closing kill as well for the hat trick in total. But just being able to get more of a mid presence that round was definitely key there for LunatiK. To make that A strat a bit more effective and close out a round. So 5-4 now. LunatiK finally striking back after a 5-round winning streak from SKDC. And once again, we are met with another pause. Not sure what for, but yeah.
I think they're good now. So Stewie said something about how he spiked for a second, but I think he's good now. So just, I guess, making sure his internet's ready to go. But we are right back into it here, folks. So no long pauses here. The players are keeping themselves moving. We are in a 5-4 situation here. SKDC with that 1-round lead after falling early, but getting themselves back into the game quite nicely so far. An invert starting it off by taking down Els, though he falls. There's Slemmy coming through Squeaky, taking out CEVO as well. So 2 opening picks for SKDC right off the start here. And Drawsoul getting one to strike right back at them, making it a 3 versus 3.
Don't really get that play from Stewie there. They had a 4-on-3 situation. You're golden. There's no need to push a smoke B like that and just get caught and give him back an even situation, especially with no one there to trade with you, or yeah, I mean, that just doesn't make any sense there from Stewie. He didn't get caught, and all of a sudden, what was an advantageous position for SKDC is now a 3-on-3 with LunatiK taking the B bomb site. Now Ruro has a huge flank here. He's able to pick up one, looking for more. He has spotted both players. Ocean jumps through the smoke thanks to that distraction there from Ruru. And now these Scouts all alone inside the site, 1 versus 3. He's able to find himself a 1v1 there with Ocean. Ruru. That was just such a big flank. He got 2 kills, plus he caused a distraction for Ocean to get 1. That was a nice play.
Yeah, very nice play, and that's given them another round here. Thanks to that, putting them up to 6-4 here. Very solid start from SKDC, though. LunatiK keeping the score tight throughout this one so far. Now they've actually been pushed to a save round, just buying up with Tech 9, some upgraded pistols, really. Not too much that they can buy here, and just seeing what kind of frags they can get, really. And looks like they want to favor this A site once again.
Yeah, I mean, LunatiK was off to a great start last round with that initial op pick from Invert, but then he got killed by that Molotov or Incendiary, and then also somebody pressing Squeaky for a pick, and SKDC was able to kind of stay ahead of the curve. And this save round, you see LunatiK just trying to smash into the save bomb site, but this is all a fake. That bomb is on Invert going B, but they didn't cause enough pressure for that B player to rotate. Not getting enough picks to really cause Stewie to feel concerned, and so he just kind of anchors that B site, and that bomb play's not going to happen. For fakes like that to work, you actually have to get some picks and force some rotates, and they weren't able to accomplish that, and so that B bomb site was still closed.
7-4 it is for SKDC. Now LunatiK is going to force up a buy here. 3 players have been knocked down to $0 off of these buys. They have 4 AKs and a Galil, so they will have some firepower to strike with here. Not too many nades, though. Much of any, just some flashes, really, and a couple of smokes and a molly. So it's not too much for LunatiK to work with, but certainly enough to get a round win if they play it correctly.
Yeah, let's see what they do here. You can see LunatiK setting up for a set B execution. That they're going to be throwing some incendiaries inside the site or Molotovs inside the site to try to clear out some of those spots. You can see them lining up for that in the sunroom there, which are also on TVU. And they're just going to try to smash B if they can. Stewie going to have an incendiary. He also has a player inside that vent, so he's able to get the opening kill there. Gets 2, and then that drop down from vents from Els, and that's just such a great position to have on the CT side. You can spot mid, and you're so quick to rotate to help B, and they're able just to shut that down before LunatiK can get much going.
And SKDC has just such a solid economy going here too. They can, they can afford to lose a couple of rounds here. They do have a decent bit of money. I mean, it's getting knocked down a little bit now as they buy things. But LunatiK once again getting forced to save here, just kind of upgrading to some P250s, but not really too much here. SKDC's gotten themselves back into this game quite nicely now, and we're going to once again see these A pushes out of LunatiK that necessarily haven't been working too much as of late.
Yeah, they're on a save. They're trying to see if they can't get out and get a bumper. They're doing a strong squeaky play just to try to plant maybe inside this smoke. But they're just going to get caught here by the blender that is Ocean and Slimmy playing this back corner of the site. And SKDC going to hit them hard there. 9-4 score for SKDC. Ever since, you know, dropping those first 3 rounds, they have been near flawless. I mean, winning 9 of 10 rounds so far to be up now 9-4. They're looking really good here.
They certainly are. LunatiK really just hasn't been able to do anything with these gun rounds here. But now they're back up on the bye, but it's another one of those situations where they really need to win this round, or they're just going to be right back on the save again.
Looks like Inverse trying to appease some of our Call of Duty fans out there in MLG.TV with this weapon selection. Gonna get that red dot scope and see what he can do aiming down the sights. But SKDC getting aggressive here at the Squeaky Hall. They're going to go ahead and get a pick there on the TVU. An even exchange, though, 4-on-4, and this definitely still does favor LunatiK. Anytime you get an even trade like this as a Terror, she'll take that all day long. It gives it, you know, puts a dent in the CT defense. It causes a lot of rotations, and it gives you a huge advantage when you attack a site like 4-on-2 or 4-on-1. So this is really good positioning here for LunatiK.
You can see Ruru sitting here in mid. So far, LunatiK hasn't really decided on anything, just still hanging out back towards the spawn side. They have 50 seconds to work with here, and it looks like Invert wants to work something on this A main side. He got a couple of shots into Ruru over there, or Ocean it may have been, but not really able to convert on much of anything as they do have themselves into the site. L's up top does get Invert, but Scouts will exchange out with him. They at least get the bomb down, LunatiK does, but Ruru coming through, able to finish off Drake. Drawsoul will trade a frag as well, so now it is just Drawsoul in a 1 versus 2, only 15 health left, playing inside of the site. He needs to be absolutely perfect here, but there's just too many bodies for him to worry about, so Ruru will pick up on that frag and the defuse, putting them up to a 10-4 lead for SKDC.
And that's just been the trend this whole half long, is LunatiK, you know, doing these heavy A-side attacks. I would say the majority of their gun rounds have been kind of these A-side attacks, really heavy, or maybe like an A main mid split, though with little emphasis on mid, like very small amount of emphasis on mid. And it's always turned into situations where, yeah, they get in the site and, yeah, they get the bomb down, but they're always in a disadvantage, as in CTs are retaking with, like, a man advantage or something like that, and LunatiK's never been able to hold off those retakes. So SKDC, you know, while they might give up A to emphasize themselves on mid, they're always on top of it when it comes to these retakes, it seems like. And we see LunatiK in this last round looking like they want to put a lot more emphasis on mid. They're boosting 2 players to try to come out here and attack, and it's just Ruru playing really passive and 2D connectors. So, you know, LunatiK finally getting some good map control, but Elf playing that dangerous mid positions I was talking about earlier, able just to peek out mid and catch a couple of players in the side who are distracted by the player and CT connector. And here you have it again, SKDC with an early man advantage and just keeps getting worse, just keeps piling on. It's Elf ends the round with the quad kill, all from Vince, just being able to spin off between mid and B so quickly. And that's just such a dangerous spot. That's why you see a lot of teams dedicate, you know, throwing a Molotov in those vents to clear it out, to not have to deal with that type of punishment. But something LunatiK did not have up their sleeve or didn't have in their hand of cards, and so SKDC deals them the blows for it.
And Elves was able to pick up on some of those frags from a great flash from one of his teammates, too. Really just blinded the whole mid area, was able to just pop out of those vents as soon as that flash came through from his teammate, and was able to pick up on a couple of frags there. But SKDC so far having just a fantastic CT side here, going up 11-4 as we go into our change of sides, and LunatiK's going to have to put up a big CT side themselves here. Definitely want to come out with a big pistol round win to start the half off. I mean, that was their strength really last half. They didn't do anything with the rifle rounds, or really all their rounds coming from the pistols. Only got 1 rifle round win over on their side there. So it's you know, it just seems like SKDC really out fragging them here so far, or LunatiK not getting the pushes. Didn't really have that much solid pushes onto the site, but SKDC's been fragging well, though. Really doing good on those rifle rounds, so we'll see if they can carry that onto their T side here as we go into a change of sides.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it just really came down to LunatiK, most of their rifle rounds really looking for these really heavy executes with, like, little to no mid presence, which like a lot of them bomb plants just because, you know, SKDC was willing to kind of give up or like have like a weaker A just to kind of make sure they had mid control. but it always just led to them having like a good retake. I mean, their retakes were on point. There's no doubt about it. And I mean, yeah, if LunatiK could have held off those retakes a bit better, we could have had a different half. But you could say that about a lot of different situations, right? So
Yeah.
it is SKDC just coming out on the better end there on the CT side. Like I said, really effective retakes, controlling mid for the most part. When they didn't control mid, they, were able to adjust accordingly and take control of other areas of the map. So, yeah, just a good play from the CT side there from SKDC.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly. As we actually are getting word here that there is going to be a bit of a pause here. One of the players has to go and restart their router, so that's going to give us an opportunity here, I think, to just take a break, and we'll kind of get our waters and get everything set up as we head into our second half here of our first map in our second best of 2 in the evening between SKDC and LunatiK Esports. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back with the second half here in just a few minutes.
All right, well, good thing your producer is also a caster, because that was not 5 minutes. And, well, we advise you to go get some snacks. It looks like Dust and Anthony took that advice as well. So, hey, what's going on, guys? We'll get into this round here. Switching sides. It's 11-4. SKDC looking pretty good so far. Looking really good yesterday as well up against their matches versus Luminosity Gaming. Looks like Dust has got back. What's going on, Dust? Pretty good. Doing some impromptu casting real quick as SKDC storming out onto the A site. It's 4-on-4, but Drek gonna hit another nice shot. Cannot stop the plant though because of that smoke. And Ocean in a pretty good spot. Not really for the bomb, but can maybe do some damage as LunatiK still has got to get into that site. Drawsoul coming up on the flank. Takes down Slemmy. Drek reloading, jumping, trying to do what he can. Almost gets knifed, but his teammates will save him. And they will live to defuse the bomb. Yeah, I too went to middle school. I forgot about those little sayings, actually. I did. Believe it or not, I did attend middle school. I don't know what today is, I'm going to be honest. Oh,
So we both left you. So the producer
I had you
went
muted.
from
You're
being
back.
a producer to being a solo caster.
I do everything around here, guys. The secret's out. Number one
It is.
artist, caster, producer.
You are a pretty solid artist, man. You do.
Oh, that
You are
made-
one with the doodles. Yeah, they definitely gonna eat alive Stewie and Ruru there. As you know, they're on the save. They did invest a little bit here. Actually, Slimmy has the big investment. He has the Molotov smoke and 2 flashes, and he's over here at B by himself. I guess they're gonna maybe do some type of, I don't know what, like why he would be over there by himself with the Molotov. That's kind of odd. But it looks like he's maybe trying to throw some type of fake by himself so they can storm A with everyone else, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, why not try to force some rotators? They're only working with pistols right now, so maybe it gives them a better opportunity to get the bomb down. These flashes, Slummy's actually doing a really good job. He has pulled a rotator. It's actually Drek moving on to highway, but I'm not sure that his counterpart on this fake really went fast enough after that. They needed to go immediately. They kind of dilly-dally, and I don't know if the bomb's going to go down. Drossel still alive and kicking. Finally, he goes down, but...
Slimmy all alone here.
Slimmy, yeah.
Nice shot, though, on that one guy. But, yeah, I mean, like you said, Slimmy's fake actually did work. He pulled definitely 3 towards B, and there was a 4th guy at mid that was kind of also leaning heavy towards B, like going towards Vince. And the thing is when you think it's a save round like that, if you're LunatiK, and you see all these nades being thrown, you kind of figure, yeah, they're just tossing all of what they got nade-wise just to execute the site. And so the fake does work in that regard, but like you said, maybe SKDC just not the counterpart to that, not attacking fast enough.
Now you see it 11-6 it is, as SKDC got those AKs. Actually, Invert was trying to get up top there, but Ruru able to find that frag onto him as he was all the way back in the T mid side here, but now SKDC getting set up. A couple of players sitting over at the A main here, getting ready to push into the site. That smoke dissipating slowly. Still plenty of time for them to work with here, but they do have this one-man advantage so far.
That they do. Taking Invert down right off the bat. As you can see, that bomb shifting over towards A3, looking for another pick over here at the forklift, but Drake will find him and evens it back up. But still, LunatiK in a decent position here as they will go ahead and jump onto this execution. But Drossel from the back. Oh, what the heck?
Oh, goodness.
He stared at his teammate for a solid 2 seconds before he took that shot, too. I don't...
Oh, no.
Communication was real there, I guess. I mean, I don't know, but this means that SKDC has a man advantage as LunatiK tries to recuperate from that as they'll just storm in the B, and now they have a 3 versus 2. Drossel gonna get caught by the lurk. That's Ruru cutting off those rotations at mid at the sandbags, and now Scouts is all alone in a 1 versus 3. And you know, sometimes TKs like that have little impact in the round, but that one had a huge impact on this round.
Yeah.
That was pretty big to lose a player like that.
I don't understand how that happened. Like you said it, he's sitting there staring at his teammate for like 3 seconds. How do you? I don't know. I just
and it didn't help that it's a brain lapse, and it's just unfortunate because normally those brain lapses wouldn't have been a big deal. Like you do a little bit of damage to your teammate, like it's not that big of a deal. But because his teammate literally had like no HP, I think he's like in the single digits percentage-wise, I think. So that one little, like you said, that one little, you know, brain flagellate, like, just turned into a death, like, right off the bat, and gave SKDC the advantage, and were able to get to the B-bomb site, and at least on this save round, LunatiK's been able to get aggressive here at mid with Drake, and he's been able to get 1 pick there, actually. And you can see the rest of SKDC is gearing up for maybe some type of A hit. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, they're still kind of figuring out where they want to go with it. It does seem as though they were going to go for an A hit, though. They do have Ocean kind of lurking around towards this B side, as you could see Ruru hanging out inside of the A main right now. Sees Drossel. He got hurt pretty bad there once, but was able to convert on the frag, take out Drossel with a good headshot there. So now we're evened up at a 4-on-4. Ocean still lurking on this B side, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how this is actually going to pan out here. The bomb is definitely could go into A basically for free. Going to throw a pop flash to clear it. Slimmy company going to start throwing these smoke splashes in the site, using Molotovs also to clear out the site and try to, you know, force players out of the edge of these smokes. But now they're going to have to jump over the side, see if they can't get in here. Players just hiding in the smoke from the CT side, but SKDC able to catch him. But there's still 1 alive here over at Quad. Has yet to be spotted, but finally his ninjaing days are over. And SKDC able to close out the round. That was kind of odd. Like, sometimes those smokes you throw wind up backfiring, and people kind of ninja inside of them. But luckily, SKDC was able to clean them up. Now they're up 13-6.
Poor Scouts. He was like inside of the smoke. He didn't have any ammo in his guns. He's just sitting there with his knife out, like knife in the air, hoping for something to come his way, but he just couldn't find anything with it. Poor guy. But regardless, that puts SKDC up to a 13-6 lead right now, as they have been looking so solid here on Cash so far, and they do have a favor towards B this time. As you can see, they have about 3 guys lined up over there. Bombs looking this way as well, so maybe see some sort of a B hit for them. But regardless, they're kind of spread right now.
Well, this aggression in Squeaky Hall by a couple of CTs could definitely catch this one guy off guard. They had 2 guys kind of playing towards checkers, one in the vents, one below. So, but Ruru catching the aggression there from Drake right off the bat.
LunatiK trying to play seemingly a bit more aggressive here this round, but pay because of it, though. Drawsoul is able to catch Ruru from behind here as he was just looking the opposite way, but with the exchange of frags coming through, we are evened up at a 3-on-3 here as SKDC getting their push onto the B side. Ready, Scout coming out of vent there, taking down 2. Can he get the 3rd? And he grabs it with his M4 to grab that round for LunatiK, one that they certainly needed. And it's a great play out of vents from him, now making it a 13-7 game for SKDC.
I mean, nothing you can really say there other than just that one little play in the vents there from LunatiK was what turned that round upside down. I mean, kind of even exchanges based on that squeaky door aggression that you saw from LunatiK. You know, Rue was able to get 1, but they also got a pick out of the deal in the end. But then that big vent play was definitely what got the round there for LunatiK. That was absolutely a huge hat trick play. As now we see both teams still with some money, but also trying to play the edge of the smoke. That's just easy pickings for Stewie. And now it's just going to be Drake all by himself in the A bomb site. And it's just kind of bonehead plays like that, just kind of catching LunatiK in a bad way. But at least Drake able to recover with a couple of frags here from the back of quad. So really an individual effort to bail his team out of a tough spot. That's 3 now. So I mean, these big hat trick rounds from some of these LunatiK players is what's holding SKDC back.
That was huge from Drake right there to be able to find those, though. L's coming back with 2 of his own on the AK, though. CEVO able to find him easily inside of the site as he was coming in from the truck side towards spawn. So LunatiK here grabbing a few rounds back in a row here. SKDC is going to have to go on a bit of a save here. Don't have too much money, so LunatiK looking pretty solid here. Slowly but surely getting themselves back into the game.
Yeah, I mean, you thought SKDC was about to just kind of close this thing out. They were looking good to do so, but here LunatiK basically off the back of just some brilliant individual efforts. You know, that one hat trick round at Vince a couple of rounds ago, and then that big save by Drake. You know, after a mistake from a teammate, he came up in a big way to bring that round back. And, you know, now LunatiK remains alive in this game rather than SKDC just storming out to map point. And we have a save here from SKDC trying to do some boosting at mid, and the headshot will come in because of it there from Invert.
A couple of players from SKDC favoring this B side as well. Of course, all they're really working with here is P250s. Throw a couple mollies now, have backed themselves off, and Ocean's in mid with 3, or a couple of his teammates here. Actually, 3 of his teammates, though. Invert still wreaking havoc inside of this mid, able to get 1, and Drake will... and making it 13-11.
I mean, honestly, though, like, what a great play from CEVO, and I don't want to take away anything from all these plays, because, I mean, these are brilliant plays from some of these guys, but you have to wonder if eventually that fuel is going to, you know, burn out, man, because it seems like LunatiK's really been reliant upon big individual plays like that to win rounds, whether it was one of their players, I think it was either Drawsoul or Scouts, had like a big play inside the vents, a hat trick to hold off a B attack. You had Drake, like you said, had that big kind of triple kill inside the A-bomb site one round to hold off a take. And then you have a play like that where CEVO clutches a 1 versus 3. And these are all brilliant plays, you know, definitely deserving of praise. But at the same time, is that really going to last? You know, can the stamina of these big individual efforts, can they keep happening? Or is at some point SKDC going to shut that down?
That's the thing. You can't sit there and rely on these huge individual efforts. It's just eventually it's going to crumble, and that's LunatiK's problem right now. So far it's working, but you know when is it going to become a problem for them? You know, in the latter half of this game. But so far 2 frags coming out on each side here, and Ruru in mid able to pick up 2 as well on the Invert and Scout, so we're looking at a 3 versus 2 in favor of SKDC, though. Drawsoul comes right back to take out Ruru, and Ocean's getting on top of the boxes here, looking for a flank onto Drawsoul. He knows that he has guys coming from both sides here, able to find 1 onto Ocean, though. Still has Slummy inside of the site, and CEVO finishes him off with that molly there, and what a game here so far. LunatiK has climbed themselves all the way back here as they are just within 1 round.
Yeah, that was just some excellent maneuvering there by Drossel to get that pick, work himself around the box to be unspotted by that take, and then come back around and find a second frag, allowing CEVO to rotate truck and get in on the round as well. And that was more like it from LunatiK. They didn't necessarily rely on a crazy individual effort. They had a bit more teamwork going there between, Drossel and CEVO to shut out that particular round. And now you have it about to be a tie, probably. I mean, we have a Tech 9 buy up here from SKDC. Looks like they're going to go for a strong A attack. They have a few Molotovs and smokes to kind of, smoke all the typical spots at A and use those 2 Molotovs to maybe flush out that fence corner, maybe just the main part of the site. But that's all they're going to be able to rely on. It's just a really strong attack with these smokes and Molotovs.
SKDC getting ready for the push here. Invert able to stop the first player at least. That was Slimmy getting a second one onto Ocean here. The push actually somewhat working out for them as they've exchanged back 2 frags here and they picked up the M4 and
wow, Stewie just saved his life so hard.
And a round here for SKDC is somehow they're making this eco work for themselves, though CEVO actually in pretty decent position here as 3 players from SKDC, all 3 of them are quite hurt here, could be able to convert on this one over a tractor. He can't, or forklift, excuse me, as Ruru was able to come through with that one. And oh my goodness, what a time to come up big on the eco.
That was huge. I mean, Invert was doing a pretty good job with the op to kind of get a couple of kills and stay alive in the site. But then you saw, like, I can't remember who it was able to wrap around quad, get a kill, and pick up an M4 and pick up a second frag. And then he was about to get killed by Invert, and Stewie bailed him out, like saved his life, basically, and kept that round alive for SKDC. And off of the back of that, they're able to, close out the round. And now they're looking like they're about to get the map point because it's LunatiK now on a save, and we already see SKDC just storming mid, full mid control, able to get the pick there. But this is an A bomb site stack with 3 players, so I think SKDC is going to be wise to it, though. I mean, they're kind of probing the entire map. They're not gambling a push straight into the stack, so still a good chance for SKDC to kind of avoid this.
Drossel and Invert, though, able to come through with 2 frags of their own, making it a 3 versus 3, though. Ruru able to finally convert on a 1 on a Drossel, but CEVO coming right back and able to hunt that frag down. So we're looking at a 2 versus 2 now, but SKDC swinging it back around towards his B site, and Els just destroys Invert inside of mid, so it's going to be all left up to CEVO here to prevent map point, excuse me, from his team as SKDC getting ready to get in towards this B site. They have the main smoked off, but Slemmy is grabbing himself back into that headshot area, and they'll be moving the bomb in here to put that down in just a second. So CEVO's got to come up big on this 1 versus 2.
And he's going to have to check this close angle as he comes out the vents. Otherwise, he's just going to get shock fragged by CEVO. He will, or excuse me, Els. He'll check it, but Els is too fast. He'll get the frag. And that's now a map point here for SKDC, up 15-12. And, LunatiK still able to buy here. I mean, M4s across the board except for Drossel, who will be, just left with the FAMAS. I guess same for Scout. So it's not quite a full comfortable buy. And they don't even really have a lot of nades either. They just have 3 smokes and 1 flash. So they don't really have a whole lot of counter nades either to use on the LunatiK side. So actually, this is a really advantageous round for SKDC for sure. It's the closest thing out here now.
It's going to have to be the aim game coming through from LunatiK. That's pretty much what they're down to here is so far no frags coming through, but a decent bit of damage coming out onto LunatiK from SKDC. But they are heavily favoring this A side. Excuse me, as they have all 5 players lined up over there and getting ready to go, but still no real push yet as they're just lurking around, seeing maybe actually LunatiK has 2 players aggressive up in the mid, but Drake sitting up top is able to start things off by taking out Ruru, and that's kind of slowed down this push here from SKDC, but they're slowly working their way back in. Invert on the flank, though, able to get one on the Slemmy over at A main, and there's going to be Stewie there as well. Can he get that one as well? He does with his M4, so now it's a 3 versus 2. It's just Ocean left alive on the quad box, and that will be Drossel picking up a 2K with his FAMAS, keeping LunatiK alive on this map here and making it 15-13.
Yeah, that was a big round for LunatiK to not have a lot of equipment. I mean, like I said, I think they only had 4 nades across the entire team, just 2 smokes and a couple of flashes, and they had a couple of guys on FAMASs, and they still came up in a big way that round to hold this off. And if they can just hold this round off, I mean, there's really not a whole lot of money in the bank of SKDC, so if they can hold off this round, prevent a bomb plant, and win the round, I mean, they'll be in good shape to tie this thing up and put this in the overtime, actually. So, I mean, this is kind of SKDC buying out as much as they can and kind of going for it all here. But the aggression from LunatiK at Checkers, they did that earlier in the half, and it came up big, and it comes up big again, but Els immediately responds by pushing mid. They know mid's a bit weak because there's 2 players dedicated to that squeaky door aggression, and they're gonna, you know, take advantage of that. But Invert playing passive with the op at CT will find the head of Stewie, and so they will have a 4 versus 3 on their hands. The advantage is here for LunatiK for sure. And like I said, they win this round. SKDC doesn't have anything to work with money-wise for the next round, so if they can close this thing out 15-15, looking real likely.
It's a very pivotal round here for both teams, to say the least. But SKDC getting ready maybe for some sort of a B take here. Molly's going in onto the site, so this is all the marbles in the basket here for SKDC as the flashes come through. Tibu starting it off, though, taking down Ruru, though Els responds right away with a frag back onto him. So now 2 versus 3. There's still a player over in headshot just lurking in there. It's Invert with his op. He just got a quick shot off, getting another one onto Els as well, popping his head right off, and that puts LunatiK in 1 round away from being able to tie this one up and send it into overtime. And SKDC, as you were saying, their dust has no money to really do much of anything with. It's just going to have to be a big eco from them if they want to prevent overtime here.
I think they're going to go for the A rush again. I mean, they have all the Molotovs, and they might go for the B Molotov play. I saw them buying up the 3 Molotovs, and last time they did this with Tech-9s, they just did like a really strong A hit. And it actually worked out for them. They were able to actually win that round when they did that. But it looks like they're favoring more towards that B side this time, using Molotovs maybe to clear out the checkers and also just trying to flush people out of the site. You see Ocean setting up for that same exact Molotov he threw in the last round to try to help clear out the A bomb side a bit. And that's really Stewie coming out, grabbing a kill here. And they're getting in. Slimmy with
goodness.
catches Tivu. They're going to be able to collect these guns. But, Drake comes out heaven, able to only get 1, though. I thought he was going to get 2 and kind of shut this round down. But now, hope remains alive here for SKDC as they have a 3 versus 2 post-plant situation. But look at this flank.
The flank.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, my goodness. Ruru coming through, taking down Invert. It's just Drossel left, and he couldn't do it. What a play there from SKDC, being on the ropes there in a situation with terrible money, terrible weapons to go up against that buy from LunatiK there, and somehow they managed to squeak that round out, having a couple of solid ecos, SKDC, towards the end of that game, and that leads them to a 16-14 win.
Yeah, that was quite a nail-biter game. I mean, SKDC was off to a great start. It looked like they were going to close that game out fast, but then you just saw, mostly off the back of some crazy individual efforts from different players at different times, a lot of different 3K rounds for players like Drake or Scouts who were able to keep their team in the game. But like we said, eventually that juice kind of runs out. You can't rely on those individual efforts the whole entire game to get you the W. And eventually, off the back of a couple of eco rounds, actually, SKDC was able to close out that map, 16-14. Still a very close game, though. Still a good game from both teams. But just SKDC a little bit ahead. But we are going to take a quick break. But when we come back, we will have Dust 2 to close out the night. Our last game of the night coming up here just a few minutes.